Hi Gemini, welcome back to Wandering Magic. This is going to be for Gemini Sun, Moon, and Rising, and this message is for November 2022. I was getting the song Imagine Dragons. I'm waking up, I feel it in my bones. Welcome to the new age. To the new age. To the new... Like, I'm ready to rock you, ready to rock you. That song. I don't know what it's called, sorry. But your tarot card here is regeneration. Essentially equivalent, for those of you that know tarot, to the death card, where there is a death and rebirth or some type of major transformation that is about to happen, right? So for regeneration, you know, if you can use your imagination for a second, this tree was once, you know, blooming and blossoming with leaves or perhaps flowers, and then here's this fire that like took it all away. And I feel like this is the aftermath of it, because here, like with this blue, it shows like it's cooling off over here, and now the dust is kind of settling. So to me, in November, you are starting over with something. And if you're not physically doing it, you're thinking about it. I'm getting a lot of twos for you, and twos is a choice on a path. In tarot, twos are a choice on a path. So the other thing with twos is I have two kings here, but we'll talk about it when we get there. So with the other oracle card, you have cauldron, and with cauldron, chemistry, ideas brewing and thinking, right? So like I said, if you likely are about to go through this and the energy is building up for November, I will say that if you don't take action when November is through, wait till January, because Mercury is retrograding, and if you want this to stick and you don't want to revisit this thing, do it after the new year at some point in time, not in December. So do the planning in November, do the planning in December, maybe let January kind of like fall over, let that lingering energy go, and then maybe your jump is February. So that is pretty specific, but regardless, you've got a lot of ideas right now, and I think this boils down to, well, it always boils down to you, you know, despite what anyone thinks or feels or whatever the case may be. But your tarot cards are the muse of voices, the muse of emotions, and between all that you have the hanged muse. So this deck is called the Muse Tarot. So the kings are muses, but also instead of using like anyway, doesn't matter, let me just continue, sorry. So you got the King of Swords, and you have the King of Cups, and then you have the Hanged Man in the center here. And so to me, with this on this side, it's that decision, right? So it's thinking about wanting to do something, and really this is matters of the mind and matters of the heart. And it seems like this decision that you need to make is going to be one that is difficult. It's tugging at your heartstrings. So it's like, do I follow what I'm thinking? Do I follow my mind, or do I follow my heart? And what do I do? So this could be, you know, pursuing the job that you love or are just very passionate about, as opposed to choosing a job that is being very practical, right? This could be about being in a connection, romantically or platonically, and not knowing what to do about that situation, because you are emotionally tied to it, and you're trying to figure out if you should stay attached to it. This could also involve two peoples, or those two people could be the Gemini, the twins, right? So a lot of duality going on here. It feels like there's outside influence affecting you, and trying to penetrate your aura. So it feels like it's a difficult decision to make, but really it's not, if that makes sense. And I'm not going to tell you whether to follow your heart or your mind, but if you know that your mind is constantly playing tricks on you, if you have a lot of mental chatter, which means that you're constantly talking yourself out of things, you don't really know how to quiet your mind, you don't meditate, you're always all over the place, then that's probably not the decision. But if you feel this inner calling, this thing that you can't explain or describe, that's what you want to go for, right? But the universe is like, if you haven't felt like, if you're still feeling so much doubt and you're like, oh, this doubt must mean that because I'm not 100%, then it's a no. Well, that's not really true. It's like, are you really just hanging in limbo? Are you surrendering to the feeling? Are you surrendering to life? Are you living life like on the straight and narrow? And what that means is, like, are you not taking chances? Are you not taking those leaps of faith? Are you waking up every day in the mundane, doing the same routine day after day after day, and you're just like, something's gotta fucking give at this point? So when you're feeling those things of something's gotta give, that's the inner voice. Your practicality, your mind, the practical side of you, the one that is always trying to make sense of something, is talking you out of it. So this is about more leading with what feels good and what feels right. So if it feels right, say it. If it feels right, do it. But if your mind is telling you no, is that intuition, or is it your mind playing tricks on you? And that's what you need to really focus on. Speaking of playing tricks on you, you got the Seven of Swords, and then you got the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups. Okay. Seven is having faith on your journey. So if you're, yeah. And I'm also seeing the Chariot here. It's a little further down. So you got 3 sevens essentially. So look that number up, by the way, 777. Sorry. If you're feeling like, yeah, this more feels like, it feels more like self. Yeah, it feels more like self. Yeah, you're like overthinking, you're drowning, you're overwhelmed. Okay, got it. You're overwhelmed, and you're just trying to figure out, how can I do this? You just don't know. And the thing is, about whatever it is that you're gonna do, this is fated. It's supposed to happen, and it's gonna happen. And this is that moment, that month where Spirit is allowing you to take a breath. But then it's like, you can hold your breath, but don't hold it until you jump. Because once you hit the water, you're gonna need all that oxygen, right? So see somebody standing on a cliff, taking the jump in the water. You don't hold your breath before you go in. You hold it when you hit the water. And it seems like you're holding your breath too much, when there's all this oxygen up here, you know, right? But this is safe. This is safe. And it's like wanting to jump in the water, but then your mind's like, well, what if there's rocks down there? What if there's a shark down there? What if? Right? You can create a million scenarios. But if you're not trusting that inner voice, if you're not trusting yourself, who are you listening to? The only person who can make the decision is you, and make sure that you're making the decisions for yourself. This thing is going to happen. You have to find the balance between heart and mind, and you are going to move forward. You're going to excel forward. And Spirit's like, you either light a fire under your ass or I'm going to do it for you. And that's where we're at with it. Look up 1010, right? Look at you in your head. The Spirit telling you to take action. There's just a bunch of twos. Look at this. Ace of voices. So there's Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. You got another 2. You got a 2. You got 2s everywhere, right? Stay on your path. Stay the course. Run the course. Some of you, the course has run dry. The well has run dry. The course is over. It's like, what are you running for? What are you running from? Why are you hiding? Why aren't you saying or doing? Why aren't you walking your walk? Between worlds is how you're feeling. But Spirit wants you, because this is your advice, they want you to live in the in-between. They want you to walk into foreign lands. That could be literal or figurative. Take it how it resonates. It's going to feel weird. It's going to feel like you don't belong. It's going to feel like, is this what I'm supposed to do? And it's scary as shit. And it's just like, who cares? Just do it. Just jump. All right. You got wait. So see, wait. That's that pause in November. Meditation brings answers. So quieting your mind, because a lot of you do have mental chatter. And then within the next few months. So this is why that message came through about February. Because November's the pause. Since this is permanent, it should not happen in December unless this was pre-planned a long time ago. It shouldn't happen in December because of Mercury retrograde, because this is going to stick. January, you're getting your feet wet. After that, you're just going to jump full throttle. Okay. Love that for you. Watch your sun, moon, rising for any additional messages, and I'll see you next time. Bye.